Oke, fokusnya di skill 6 sampai 19 kelihatannya banyak tapi sebenarnya gampang karena mereka berkesinambungan. So stay tune dan seperti biasa, kalau misalnya kalian mau tahu ini tuh keluarnya gimana skill-skill ini kalau dalam tes TOEFL itu seperti apa, kalian bisa kerjakan soal structure dan written expression ya para studia yang ada di description box below. Oke. Nah, mari kita mulai dengan skill 6, lanjutan skill yang kemarin ya. Skill 6 untuk TOEFL dan TOEFL structure and written expression di sini adalah use coordinate connectors correctly ya, triple C nih. Coordinate connectors correctly. So, when you have two clauses in an English sentence, you must connect two clauses correctly. Caranya adalah bisa pakai and, but, or, so, yet. Ini ada ininya ya, fun boys. Oke, ini konektorsnya ya. Jadi kalian bisa gunakan untuk mengkoneksikan dua clauses. Oke, masih ingat kan clauses itu apa? Clauses adalah kumpulan dari subject and verb di dalam satu kalimat ya. For example, in here, the subject is Tom, and the verb is singing. Tom is singing, and Paul is dancing. The second clause or the second subject and verb is Paul is dancing ya. Dia di-connect dengan menggunakan and. Tom is tall, but Paul is short. Tom must write the letter, or Paul will do it. Tom told the joke, so Paul laughed. Tom is tired, yet he is not going to sleep. Di sini yetnya sebagai tapi, gitu ya. Nah, coordinate connectors ini masing-masing punya ini beda ya. Ada yang menunjukkan kontradiksi, ada yang menunjukkan situasi yang sama, ada yang menunjukkan alternatif. Gitu. Nah, coba kita mulai jawab untuk soalnya ya. Di sini ada a power failure occurred, titik-titik, the lamps went out. Berarti you need the connectors that represent cause and effect di sini. Then bukan connectors, later bukan connectors, next bukan connectors. Next itu sequencing word ya. Jadi yang satu-satunya yang connectors adalah si so. So that's why the answer is B ya. Next, use adverb, time, and cause connectors correctly. Jadi adverb, time, and cause connectors-nya gimana di sini? Kita gabungin. Sentence with adverb clause have two basic patterns in English. First, you need to study the clause and connector in the following sentence. I will sign the check before you leave. Before you leave, I will sign the check. Itu dua-duanya artinya sama ya. Tapi kalau misalnya mau ngasih tahu adverb of time, koma, baru subject and verb-nya ya. The clauses-nya. Adverb time and cause connector, di sini ada after, as long as soon as, before, dan banyak lainnya di sini ya. Oke, Teresa went inside because it was raining. Because it was raining, Teresa went inside. Nah, coba kita lihat di pertanyaannya. Titik was late, I missed the appointment. Oke, kira-kira yang mana yang ada adverb time and cause connector? Apakah I was late, I missed the appointment? Itu enggak ya, enggak ada ya. Because was late, aneh. The train was late, masih oke. I missed the appointment. Terus kenapa? Apa yang membuat ini menjadi satu kesatuan? Jadi kita tambahkan di sini since he was late, I missed the appointment. Ya. I missed the appointment. If you choose answer A or answer C, you will have a subject for the verb, but you will not have a connector. So answer B is incorrect because there is no subject in the verb. Yeah. That's why answer D is the best verb because there is a subject, there is a verb, and there is a connector ya. Subjeknya siapa? He. Ya. Verbnya was late. Lalu adverbnya yang mana? Since. Ya. There is connector in here. That's why it can join two clauses. Next one. We have the other adverb connectors. As you saw in skill 7, adverb clause can also express a number of other ideas, such as contrast, condition, manners, place. Because these clauses are adverb clauses, they have the same structure as the time and cost clauses in skill 7 yang tadi ya. For example, I will leave at 7 if I'm ready. Although I was late, I managed to catch the train. Jadi ada although, even though, while, whereas, itu kontras. Tapi kalau condition or conditional, we use if, in case, provided, berarti jikalau saja. Conditional itu berarti bisa ada kemungkinan dia tidak terjadi. Lalu ada juga adverb of manners, as, in that, and then adverb of place, where, wherever. Ya. Oke. Di sini kita punya next question. You will get a good grade on the exam provided, ingat provided masuknya di mana di sini? Di condition. Ya. In this example, kalian harus langsung bisa lihat bahwa adverb condition connectors-nya itu adalah provided. Di sini dia ada di middle of the sentence. Karena ini konektor berarti it must be followed by a subject and a verb. Ingat, kan konektor. Jadi paling gampang adalah cari subjek dan verb setelahnya. So di sini yang punya subjek cuma satu, which is D. Ya, ada di D. Alright, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let's go ahead to the next slide. Okay. Next we have more sentence with multiple clauses. As we saw in skill 6 through 8, many sentences in English have more than one clause. Banyak ya. In skills 9 through 12, we will see more pattern for connecting the clause in the sentence with multiple clauses. Karena the pattern appear very frequently. Cukup sering ya, apalagi di TOEFL. That's why you should be very familiar with the term, okay? Let's go to the next one. On skill 9, we will learn on how to use noun clause connectors correctly. So noun clause is a clause that function as a noun. Ya, dia berfungsi sebagai kata benda. Because the noun clause is a noun, it is used in a sentence as either an object of a verb or an object of preposition or the subject of the sentence themselves. I know when he will arrive. When he will arrive-nya tuh jadi satu, ya. I'm concerned about when he will arrive. This one as an object of preposition. When he will arrive is not important. This one as a subject, ya. So noun clause connectors ada apa aja? Ada what, when, where, why, how. 5W1H ya. Ada whatever and whenever. Ada juga whether sama if and also that. Ya. So let's go ahead and focus on the question. Let's see what is the correct answer. Blank was late, caused many problems. Ayo, where is the subject? Where is the subject and where is the connector? In here, as you can see, the one that have the connector is only A. Yeah, connector and subject. That, he. That itu sebagai konektornya, he sebagai subjeknya, Was late was the verb. Yeah. That's why the correct answer is A. Let's continue with skill 2, which is using a noun clause or connector as a subject. In skill 9, we saw that noun clause connectors were used to introduce noun subject clause or noun object clause. In skill 10, we will see that in some cases, a noun clause connector is not just a connector. Noun clause connectors can also be the subject of the clause at the time, yeah? Okay, for example in here, I do not know what is in the box. This one is a noun clause, an object of the verb. We are concerned about who will do the work. This one, noun clause, as an object of preposition. Whoever is coming to the party must bring gift. This one, noun clause, as a subject. Okay, we have who, whoever, what, whatever, which, and whenever, and whichever, yeah, as the connectors or subject. So let's go focusing on the question. Was on television made me angry? What was on the television? Yeah. What was on the television made me angry? Ternyata jawabannya what juga. I didn't mean that to happen. Oke, kenapa jawabannya di sini what? It was on television made me angry. It's kind of bit ambiguous, you know. What is it gitu loh. The story was on television made me angry. It's okay, tapi it cannot be the subject for both was made at the same time gitu loh. And D is incorrect karena when is not a subject. That's why you can use what as the subject in here, yeah. That's why C is the correct one. All right, let's go to skill 11, which is using adjective clause connectors correctly. We have an adjective clause. An adjective clause is a clause that describes a noun because the clause is an adjective and it is positioned directly after the noun that it describes. After the noun that it describes. Kuncinya di situ. Okay? So, adjective clause connector ada whom untuk people, it's an object, which untuk things, that itu versatile, itu bisa buat semua. So, within those three ya, ada whom, which, that. The woman is filling the glass that she put on the table. You use that as the connectors, yeah? Use that as the adjective clause, okay? The glass that she put on the table. So, that in here describing the glass, yeah? The one that she put on the table is the description. Okay, let's focus on the question. The gift. Mana yang ada connectorsnya? Cuma satu ya, di which doang ya. The gift which we selected for the bride was rather expensive. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Skill 12. Use adjective clause connectors or subject correctly. Nah, tadi kan di skill 11, we saw that adjective clause connector itu cuma untuk introducing clause that describe noun. Di sini, kita bisa lihat bahwa sometimes it's not just a connector, it can also be the subject of a clause at the same time. Nah, ada who, which, that, ya. Who for people, which for things, that masih sama seperti tadi, dia versatile, ya. Jadi, in here, the woman, kita fokus langsung ke ininya ya, ke questionnya ya. This is on the table has 4 sections. Kira-kira apa? The notebook is on the table has 4 sections. Which notebook? Gitu ya. The notebook which is on the table has 4 sections. Because the notebook is on the table has 4 sections. It's a bit weird, a bit ambiguous. In the notebook is on the table has 4 sections. Ini udah pasti enggak, karena salah ya. Karena aneh jadinya. So the correct one is B ya, karena dia ada clause connectors-nya ya. Alright, let's continue. We have sentence with reduced clauses. It is possible in English for a clause to appear in a complete form or in a reduced form. For example, my friend should be on the train arriving at the station now. You don't necessarily need to add which is arriving. Okay. Although not really difficult, the exam took a lot of time. You don't necessarily need to add it was, yeah. The verse sentence shows an adjective clause in a complete form, which is arriving at the station now. In its reduced form, which is arriving at the station now, the second sentence shows an adverb clause in its complete form. Although it was not really difficult, and its reduced form, although not really difficult, same, yeah. The two types of clause that can reduce in English are one, adjective clause, and two, adverb clause. It is important to become familiar with these reduced clauses because they appear frequently on TOEFL tests as well, yeah. All right. Next, we have skill 13, use reduced adjective clause correctly. An adjective clause can appear in a reduced form, and in a reduced form, the adjective clause connector and the be verb directly follows are omitted. Jadi langsung dia nggak usah dipakai gitu ya. The woman who is waving to us is the tour guide. Nggak usah pakai adjective clause-nya ya. Langsung aja, the woman waving to us is the tour guide. The letter which was written last week arrived today. The letter written last week arrived today. The pitcher that is on the table is full of iced tea. Jadi the pitcher on the table is full of iced tea. Let's focus on how to make a reduced adjective clause ya. With a be verb in the adjective clause, you can delete it right away. You can omit it ya. With no be verb in the adjective clause, to reduce an adjective clause, itu jadi pertama dia tuh nggak ada no be verb, omit the connectors or subject and change the main verb to do the ing form. Okay. And then only reduce an adjective clause if the connectors or the subject is directly followed by a verb. Ya, kalau di follow by a verb ya. Next, if an adjective clause is set off with a comma, the reduced clause can be moved to the front. Okay, let's go ahead and focus to the question. Conflict appearing on several different television programs to witness conflicting account of what had happened. Ini hampir benar. Ini paling benar. Yang terakhir, appears on several different television program, kurang cocok ya. Jadi appearing, dia itu harus pakai verb ing. Kalau tidak ada be verb ya. Lanjut. Using reduced adverb clause correctly. Next, adverb clause can also appear in a reduced form. And in the reduced form, the adverb form remain, but the subject and be verb are omitted, yeah. For example, although he is rather unwell, the speaker will take part in the seminar. Although rather unwell, the speaker will take part in the seminar. Jadi subjek sama to be-nya dihapus aja ya. Kenapa? Karena udah ada di belakangnya, sudah dijelaskan di belakangnya subjeknya. Jadi daripada dua kali, mending dihapus. When you are ready, you can begin your speech. When ready, you can begin your speech. Jadi nggak dua kali penyebutan subjeknya ya. Oke. Reduce inactive biasanya pakai after, before, since, while. Kalau untuk time, condition pakai if, unless, whether, and contrast bisa pakai although and though ya. Sementara reduce in passive, you guys can use once, until, when, whenever, and then for place we can use where and wherever, and for manner we can use as. Let's focus on the question in here. When blank, you are free to leave. Oke, kira-kira yang mana nih? when finished with the report, you are free to leave. Jadi, kenapa bukan when the finished report, you are free to leave? Aneh ya, kalau the finished report itu kan noun clause ya, bukan verb. Terus when the report juga sama, it's a noun, aneh. When is the report finished, itu tanda tanya. Jadi kita pakai be, when finished with the report. Okay. Sentence with inverted subjects and verb. Remember, subject and verbs are inverted in variety of situation in English. Inverted subject and verb occur most often in the formation of a question biasanya ya. Nah, to form a question with a helping verb, or like be, have, can, could, will, would, the subject and helping verb are inverted. He can go to the movies. Diubah, dibalik. Can he go to the movies? You would tell me the truth. Would you tell me the truth? She was sick yesterday. Was she sick yesterday? Gitu ya. To form a question when there is no helping verb in the sentence, the helping verb is used. He goes to the movie. Does he goes to the movie? You told me the truth becomes did you told me the truth? Did you tell me the truth? Gitu ya. Banyak tipenya tapi sebenarnya tinggal dibolak-balik aja. If you remember the method, pokoknya tuh jadinya kalau subjek di depan, subjeknya jadi setelah auxiliary-nya ya. Setelah would-nya, setelah helping verb. Oke. Okay? Satu, biasanya common problems di inverted subject itu adalah di following situation nih, with question word seperti what, when, where, how, terus after some place expression, after negative expression, sama di conditional juga, sama after some comparison biasanya ada inverted kayak gini. Oke. Okay? Baik, mari kita lanjut. Skill 15. Invert the subject and verb with the question. Nah, kadang suka bingung ya. When to invert the subject and verb after question word such as what? Gitu ya. Atau semua question word yang lain lah. These two have a very two different function in a sentence. First, they can introduce a question, and in this case, the subject and verb that follow are inverted. Well, what is the homework? When can I leave? And where are you going? Also, these words can join together two clauses, and in this case, the subject and verb that follow are not inverted. I do not know what the homework is. When I can leave, I will take the first train. Do you know where you are going? Jadi tidak, not necessarily a question ya. Nah, yuk kita fokus ke ininya ya, ke questionnya. The lawyer asked the client why it. Kira-kira apa? Ini di sini kan the question word use itu adalah why untuk menyambungkannya ya. That's why you need to have subject and a verb. So for this connector, jadi why he did it, ya. Why he did it, bukan why did he do it or what did he do it. Kenapa? Karena biar nggak boros saja gitu, nggak buang-buang wording ya. This is not a question, so bukanlah kita bertanya why did he do it. Kalau misalnya ditanya directly kita bisa why did you do it, itu boleh. Tapi ini kan pernyataan, bukan pertanyaan ya. So the subject and verb should not be inverted kalau pernyataan. Okay. Let's continue. Invert the subject and verb with the place expression ya. Okay, after ideas expressing place, the subject and the verb sometimes invert in English. This can happen with single word expressing place, such as here, there, or nowhere. For example, here is the book, there are the trees, nowhere have I seen such a beautiful weather. Gitu ya. Jadi biasanya formulanya adalah atau strukturnya adalah place-nya dulu, verb, baru subject. Nah, bisa juga place-nya dulu subject or verb. Biasanya kapan yang verb duluan, kapan yang subject duluan. Jadi when a place expression is at the front of the sentence, it's necessary to complete the sentence. The subject and verb that follow are inverted. Tapi when a place expression at the front of the sentence contain extra information yang sebenarnya is not necessary to complete the sentence, the subject and verb are not inverted. Oke? Okay? Dan itu biasa dipisahkan dengan koma. Oke. Okay. Let's focus on the question. On the second level of the parking lot. Yo, ini apa? Kira-kira place expression-nya necessary or not? Necessary. Berarti are some empty stalls. Kenapa? Karena necessary, jadi verb duluan baru subjeknya. Are some empty stalls. Gitu ya. Lanjut, invert the subject and verb with negation ya. Dia bisa diubah dengan beberapa negative expression. Contoh not once, never, at no time gitu ya. Banyak di sini ada no, barely, hardly, never, only, neither. Simply sama kayak yang tadi, jadi negative expression dulu, baru verb, baru subject ya. Strukturnya begitu. Only in extreme dangerous situation will the printing presses be stopped. Kenapa? Ingat, di sini negative expressionnya mana? Only in extreme dangerous situation kan? Ya udah, berarti langsung di-invert. Invert dulu. Will the printing presses be stopped? Gitu ya. Oke. Karena D contains a correctly inverted subject and verb with the helping verb will, the subject printing presses, and the main verb to be. Gitu ya. Let's go to skill 18. Skill 18, invert the subject with and verb with conditional. Nah, in certain conditional structures, subject and verb can also be inverted. This can occur when helping verb in the conditional clauses is had, should, or were. And the conditional connector is if it's omitted, yeah. For example, if he had taken more time, the result would have been better. Had he taken more time, the result would have been better. I would help you if I were in a position to help. If I were in a position to help, I would help you. Bisa dibalik ya. Okay. If you should arrive before 6, just give me a call. Should you arrive before 6, just give me a call. Kalau di conditional, walaupun subjeknya I, tetap pakai were ya. Were I in a position to help? Yang tadi. Oke. Strukturnya gimana? So, when the verb in the conditional clause is had, should, or were, it's possible to omit if and invert the subject and verb ya. Were he here, he would help. If he was here, he would help. Gitu ya. It is also possible to keep the if, then the subject and verb are not inverted. Jadi kalau tetap ada if, subject and verbnya posisinya sama ya. If he were here, he would help. Gitu. Now, let's see. The report would have been accepted in checking its accuracy. Kira-kira yang mana? Oke. Di sini subject and verb are needed. If could be omitted ini ya. If-nya boleh dihilangkan. Jadi answer A is incorrect karena if could be omitted in here. Answer B is incorrect karena it contains the subject, care, and the verb has been taken but does not have a connector. Kalau di C sama D, if has been omitted because it is correct to inverb the subject, more care and the helping verb had, ya. Jadi the correct answer is D. Okay. All right, let's continue. Last one, skill 19. Invert the subject with and verb with a with a comparison. An inverted subject and verb may also occur after a comparison. The inversion of a subject and verb after comparison is optional rather than required, and it is rather formal structure. There have been a number of inverted comparison on reason tool tasks, so you should be familiar with the structure. Nanti kamu cut ya, mamaku batuk-batuk soalnya. Berisik banget. Oke. Lanjut. Biasanya for comparison ini seperti more sama than ya. My sister spends more hour in the office than John. My sister spend more hours in the office than John does. My sister spend more hour in the office than does John. Jadi the subject and verb may invert after a comparison. Both structure are possible. Boleh subject verb comparison subject verb atau subject verb comparison verb subject. Boleh seperti itu ya. Oke, mari kita lanjut ke questionnya. The result of the current experiment appear to be more consistent than, ayo, subject verb atau verb subject. The result of any previous test berarti apa? Subject kan? Berarti harus pakai verb, which is were. Then were the result of any previous test. Tinggal gitu aja, lihat aja belakangnya tuh apa, apakah dia subjek atau verb. Kalau dia verb berarti kalian tinggal cari subjek di pilihan. Kalau dia subjek berarti kalian tinggal cari verb di pilihannya ya. Oke. Nah, ini biasa pada suka salah di sini nih kalau di structure. Rata-rata pada suka salah di word form, sama di word choice, sama di verb. Jadi mungkin kalian bisa push untuk pelajari lebih dalam untuk word form sama word choice-nya ya, untuk nanti kalau misalnya mau coba memperdalam structure and written expression.